Remember, the very first time that we see the Hebrew word Arab is in the Bible, in Exodus 12:38. This is the first and earliest record of any people on the planet being called Arabs. When the Israelites left Egypt as slaves, Exodus 12:38 tells us that a mixed or Arab multitude also went out of Egypt, also with the Israelites, as they were leaving Egypt, where they were slaves. The Hebrew word 6154, Arab, literally means a mixture, a web, a mingled effect, a mixed or a mongrel race. Mingled people, a mixed multitude who are of different races and nationalities. The Hebrew word here is Arab. As the Jews were fleeing Egypt, they also took with them a mixed, mingled people, a mixed group of people, non-Jews, non-Hebrews. They were called Arabs in the Bible. That's what the word Arab means. The original word Arab, a mingled, mixed, to braid or mingle, a mongrel race of people. They were not Ishmaelites or even connected to Abraham or related to Ishmael. The Ishmaelites were never, ever, never called as Arabs. Never, nor in any world history until Islam was invented in 700 AD. While the Hebrews were enslaved in Egypt, the Ishmaelites were in the lands inside Canaan. These Arabs were also with the Hebrew, Jewish, Israelite slaves. They were not Ishmaelites. Ishmaelites were never slaves in Egypt. The Ishmaelites were living back in the land of Canaan. Again, Leviticus chapters 13, 49, 51, 52, 57, 58, and 59 is also referring to a mixed or mingled type of clothing or a linen made of many different types of mixed and mingled skins or furs mixed together, all from many diverse different animals and threads. The Hebrew word here is Arab, referring to a clothing made from mixed or mingled furs of different types of animals mixed together. The word Arab here in Leviticus is not referring to the Arabian people from the region of Arabia, because Arabia and the Arab Confederation, Arab states, Arabian lands, did not exist yet. But we see how the word Arab originated in the Bible, and it's earliest found in the Hebrew language. This is the earliest historical record where we find the word Arab being used to describe a people. The exodus of Israel from Egypt. The Hebrew word Arab was also used to describe clothing and garments made from mixed and mingled, diverse multitude types of animals, skins, cloths, and threads, and also used to describe a people who are a mixed race of many different races and nationalities, that they no longer could be identified as a certain race. Remember, in 1 Kings 10:15, the actual word Arab to describe people of the physical land of Arabia who were a mongrel, mixed, mingled race of the many different races throughout Canaan. The land of Arabia is already growing. The land of Arabia is already growing to a huge territory of mixed, mingled Arab people who no longer have their original culture and original ancestor race. When the book of Kings was written, we find the word Arabia being used, and the literal Hebrew word, Hebrews 61:54, Arab, a web, a mixture, a mongrel race. Arabia, mingled people, mixed multitude of a mixed race. They are not Ishmaelites, not related to Ishmaelites, and not a part of the Ishmaelite people. Nehemiah 13:3 refers to a mixed or Arab people consisting from many different cultures and nationalities. The word Arab is the Hebrew word used as the word mixed or mingled. The land of Arabia is growing larger and larger. Arabian mixed, mingled, mongrel, combined races and people are being formed into a nation and land and a region. Land and a region and people are being formed into a nation and a land and a region of mixed, mingled people who are called Arabs. They are not Ishmaelites or even related to Ishmaelites and have nothing to do with Ishmael. Ishmael is not their founder or father. None of this junk history was even introduced until Muhammad and his lie called Islam was invented and concocted in the 7th century. The wicked Ishmaelites had been judged, and their prophecy is that they would be destroyed. Gideon makes a massive slaughter of these wicked, evil people. King Saul makes a massive slaughter of the Ishmaelites. God's prophet and King David, by the power of his praying and spiritual influence and prophecy, begins the prophecy of the destruction of the Ishmaelites. The prophets David, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, Isaiah, again and again and again continue to prophesy that the descendants of Ishmael and the kingdoms and influence would be destroyed. Again, Jeremiah 25:20-25 is referring to all the mingled people of Canaan who have mixed their seed all together. They are called Arabs because they are no longer identified with their original people and their original races and historical cultures of the land. They are Arabs, mongrel, mixed, mingled people. Remember the prophecy of Jeremiah that the people of Babylon and the Chaldeans would be destroyed, and the mingled, mixed people, the Arabs of their lands, would suffer because their evil and war that they make against God's people. These people in Babylon and Chaldea, they're called Arabs. They're not Ishmaelites. The Hebrew word Arab is the Hebrew word used in referring to the word mixed or mingled people. Here in Jeremiah, you see it. Throughout the entire Old Testament,